What's up, y'all? Oh, what do you do when you go live? You hit the live button, and then your wife calls you from work. What do? You answer the phone. That's what you do. You don't play around. It may be an emergency. But she didn't realize I was going live. It's 12 noon on a Friday. That's when we're live here at the Fryar Place on YouTube. I'm actually live, not just on our YouTube page, the Fryar Place YouTube page, or channel, but we're also live on my personal Facebook page. We are celebrating today. I'm going to give a few of you an opportunity to come on in the room. It says 4 of you are in the room. Holla at me. Let me know who's in the room. Yeah, I got my little celebration cap on today, my celebration hat, because we're celebrating a year. We have been on the air. We have been broadcasting. We have been streaming for 1 year as of July 2nd. Last week actually was the year, but it was July 1st last Friday. So it wasn't a year. So I didn't really mention it too much. We had Claudia Jordan on last week with us. It was a great show. What a way to end the year, to bring the year to a conclusion with a bang like that with Claudia Jordan. Her personality, it was tremendous last week. But I just wanted to celebrate the Fryar Place today and celebrate those of you in particular who have been loyal, who have been faithful, who have continued to follow the Fryar Place, and you tune in every week and you ask questions and you comment and you're doing your part. Prayerfully, I'm doing my part. But y'all come on in the room. I see there's 5, just went up to 5. Okay, Hope, my sister Hope. Hope says, happy anniversary. Yes, it is a happy anniversary. I want to thank everybody. I really do. I hope some more folk come in the room today. Let me move this over here. Hope some folk come in the room today because I really want to thank those who have been faithful, loyal, consistent in supporting the Fryar Place. This is what we'll see at the end. I'm going to do something special. I'm going to wait until the end to see who comes in, who acknowledges they're here. Y'all acknowledge. There you go, Rashida. Rashida said, hey, Pastor. Hey, Rashida. Thanks for joining us. It's been a year. It's been a year. That's why I got my purple on. I always wear purple anyway, but I got my purple hat on. I'm celebrating today. I got a purple hat, y'all. Who has one of these, huh? Who does that? Mom said, thank you, Mom. We've been doing this for a year now. And you know what? I don't do this necessarily to try to chase a bag, trying to monetize and get paid from YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing it necessarily for that. I'm doing it because I like doing it. I love doing it. This is my space. When I come into the studio, I come in and I sit down and I feel good here. This is my feel good space. And this is something that I like to do, bringing people together, having conversations and, expressing ourselves in a positive way, helping people understand that you're not the only one that's dealing with ups and downs and tribulations in your life, but there are people, all of us are. Everybody is in some kind of fight that you don't necessarily know about. And it's encouraging. It's encouraging to know that, yes, if God will help them and navigate the circumstances of life to push them through and get them through and to deliver them, then he'll do the same thing for you, because God is no respecter of persons. What he's done for others, he will also do for you. I know that sounds old school, but it's absolutely 100% accurate and true. So, Rashida, thank you. Dale Hendricks, what up? Thank you. Hey, bro, it's been easy. You all have made it easy. I know, and you keep me accountable as well, because I know some of you are you have your notifications buttons on, and when we don't come on, there's only been a few times in the 52 weeks that we haven't been on, and I usually give you a heads up when I'm not going to be on. But I really thank you all for keep holding me accountable and staying faithful. David Hunt, what's up? Well, I appreciate that. He said, you out here changing the world. I don't know if I'm changing the world. I am trying to make change. I am trying to do my part. Yes, I am. And I believe this is something that I'm supposed to be doing, and that more will come from this. I just got a notification from I don't know if you remember last year during football season, I was doing watch parties with a company called Millions. So I got notification today. Actually, it was a few days ago, but we talked this morning at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to be doing watch parties every week. Actually, I think they're going to give me all of the Eagles games during the season. So I'll be doing my thing with the Green Legion at the stadium at the home games, then rushing home to come home in the studio to do the Eagles games, the watch parties here at the Eagles games. I still am waiting to hear back from them about my proposal to do all of the Eagles games. But thank you, Brother Hunt. You're awesome. Thank you, Rashida. She said happy anniversary. Yeah. Alfred. Yes, good afternoon. Thank you. Congratulations to you too, my brother, for whatever it is, for being here, just for being on point today. Congratulations to you. And listen, it's all of us. It ain't just me. If nobody's watching, what good is it, right? So thank you all. I want to applaud. There you go. I want to applaud all of you because you've been an inspiration to me. Thanks for being here and making a difference by sharing your story. You're an inspiration. Thank you. That's what we all should be trying to do, is help somebody along the way. You know, the old song says, if I can help somebody along the way, then my living will not be in vain. Kelsey, thank you for the happy anniversary wish. And David Hunt, thank you so much too. Y'all like this, share this. What I want to do today is, and I want you to stay on. Alfred, did I say hi to you, Alfred? I don't want to skip over you, bro. Thank you. Good afternoon to you as well. Thank you so much. I have a surprise at the end of the show, but you're going to have to hang in there to the end of the show. And it says we have 15 folk watching right now, but I only see, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different people. If you're watching, whether you're on the YouTube channel, the Fryar Place, or whether you're watching this right now on my Facebook page. If you're watching on my Facebook page, please, hey, Vanetta. I didn't mean to pressure you. Yes, I did. Happy anniversary. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you're watching this on my Facebook page as Lucy, I see Lucy Rodriguez. Lucy, thank you for the congratulations. See Mama in the picture there. Listen, if you're watching this on my Facebook page, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm restreaming on my YouTube page and my personal Facebook page. The reason for that is to get those of you who are getting notifications and watching this on my Facebook page to go over to YouTube. Yes, subscribe, search the Fryar Place, subscribe to the Fryar Place and watch this on YouTube. Plus you get a better picture on YouTube. I think it's 4K on YouTube as opposed to, I think it's 1080. It's a 1080 picture on Facebook. So you get a clearer, more defined picture on YouTube. So those of you who are watching, Lucy, who are watching on Facebook right now, my Facebook page, go over to YouTube, please. Go to YouTube, search the Fryar Place. You know how to spell my last name. It's right down there in the corner right there. The Fryar Place. You see it. The Fryar Place, F-R-Y-A-R. Search the Fryar Place and subscribe. All right. So what I want to do today, I have a few clips from some of the shows this past week. I couldn't put all of them in here. I only have like 3 because we had some tremendous guests during the year, not just football players, but people from different spectrums of the world, different arenas in the world, financial directors, therapists, former sports athletes, Hall of Famers, people who feed the needy. We had a guy who was doing insurance. We had him on, an insurance expert, an insurance benefit that we were promoting. And thank you. Hey, Richard, what's going on? Richard, you know how to spell my how do you spell? Why are you on Facebook? Why are you watching me on Facebook? You normally come in on the YouTube channel. You spell my last name, Richard, right there at the bottom. You see it right there. Fryar. Fryar. You see that? The Fryar Place. I think you're just being smart because you know how to spell my name. Fryar. So what I did is I put together a few clips from some of the shows that were done that we did our first year, from some of the ones that all of them were special to me. I don't want to just, I don't want to say these are more special to me than any of the others. They're all special. All the interviews we had, all the guests we had on the Fryar Place, they were all special. But I put together a few for us to watch and reminisce. You can always go back again at the Fryar Place on YouTube. You can always go back and watch them in their entirety. Yes. Alfred, I see you're watching on Facebook too. Please go over to YouTube. Dale, I see you're watching on Facebook. Fraternity brother, frat brother. Please, Rue, go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Fryar Place. So my first guest, one of my favorite dudes. I mean, one of my favorite people in the world. Not just because I played with him, but he's just a great guy. It was fun playing with him, and played with him here in Philadelphia. And he was just, I had heard about him. He's younger than I am, but I had heard about him coming out of USC. And, it was in that, on that fine line where they were still trying to decide whether or not they were going to accept black quarterbacks in the NFL and whether black quarterbacks had the aptitude to be able to run a team. It was right on that line. And he was fighting for those who would come behind him. And I'm not talking about Doug Williams. We had Doug Williams on, and that was a great interview. Yes, it was. Y'all, I'm talking about Rodney Peete. And Rodney and I go way back. He's married to Holly Robinson Peete, and we talked about that, and that's a part of the clip that I have. And then also he talked about his son, Rodney Jr., who has autism, and the work that it took to get him to where he is right now. So check this out. I want you to check out Rodney, and then I'll get back with you. If you have any questions, any comments, please ask. All right. Hey, Chris, this is Keith. Keith said lazy folk will take the option of Facebook when you give it to them. Well, that's okay. Look, Keith, my folk ain't lazy. They just didn't know. They're just uninformed. It's my fault. I didn't inform them. So now I'm informing them. That's what I'm doing. That's what this is all about. To inform my people. Patrice Watt, you are on. It's in 4K. Yes, it is. Keith said, yeah, there it is. The same thing I've been saying, y'all. Try the YouTube page. Go to YouTube. Search the Fryar Place. Thank you, Keith. You awesome, bro. Shout out to you. And Keith, y'all, everything you see, all this, all of this stuff that I'm doing right now, that's the man right there. That is the man who is my mentor. Shout out to Keith and the Combos. Y'all need to check him out too in the Combos. You can go to YouTube and search the Combos. And that cat there, he's something else. Grammy Award winner, and he's a producer, and he's awesome. He's awesome in what he does. Patrice Watt, please, high school classmate. Actually, Patrice, we go all the way back to probably grade school, don't we? But thank you for congratulating me for the year. But we're in this together again. It's been a year. But please go to YouTube, search the Fryar Place. I'm gonna hit Keith again. That's you've heard that one complaint. What complaint? What complaint was that? No, that's all you per that one complaint. It's not all me. I appreciate that. Thanks for the credit. But y'all listen, I want to give you some of these clips. And this is one again, Rodney Peete. Thank you, bro. I do the best I can. I got the color light over me. So what I did was I put the hat on to keep the color from showing on my bald head. So the hat kind of knocks the color off of my face but gives the color around here. I don't know if you probably can tell the difference. Most folk can't tell the difference, but hey, what's going on, Darlene? Thank you for the happy anniversary. You guys are awesome. Peter, what's going on? Thank you for the happy anniversary. Please, I see you on Facebook. Please, and my frat brother's coming on. Okay, all of y'all coming on. Go over to YouTube. Those of you who are watching this on my Facebook page, Go over to YouTube, search the Fryar Place. Don't leave now, but go over to YouTube, search the Fryar Place. Better picture, 4K. All right. I'm okay. We talked about this, y'all. Keith is saying to me, don't change a thing. I would not change a thing. Okay, because I talked to Keith the other day, and I was talking about making some changes in my studio, and he's watching right now, and I appreciate it. He's giving me constructive criticism about the Fryar Place. He said, "Don't change a thing." Okay, I'm not. I won't change a thing. I actually came to that conclusion as well. You did. Hey, there you go. Look, see, folk actually listen and pay attention. Lucy Spencer went from Facebook, and now she's on YouTube at the Fryar Place. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. So it's working. Coach Marcus, what's going on, bro? How are you? You're on YouTube as well. Thank you. Thanks for the anniversary. Congratulations. Listen, y'all, I want to throw this up real quick. I told you these are some of the clips from the year. I only have a few clips. I want you to see this first one. Rodney Peete, you know, he's married to Holly Peete. I play with Rodney. He's one of my favorite people in the world. And he talks about his wife a little bit, and then he talks about the challenges that they've had raising their son, because their son, Rodney Jr., was born with autism. Y'all check this out.
When I got married to Holly, because I married up, she dragged me along with her. She dragged me along with her.
No, but let me ask you this: did you have a plan when you married her to be dragged up? Did you have an I'm not saying there was an ulterior motive, but did you have a motive?
No, you know what? I didn't have a motive, and what I liked about her in that situation when we met, because I knew her, but I didn't know her, and we knew we had a lot of mutual friends, but we never really met. And then finally we did, and we dated for a couple of years, and then got married. But what I appreciated, Irvin, you know, there's the time commitment, the strain and the stress of what you have to do to get ready to play, and then during the season, what you have to do to kind of be focused about playing. In her world, when she was acting, it was similar. So she got that whole routine. So it wasn't like I had, you know, someone to where I had to explain, well, I gotta go away for a month, or I gotta go away for 6 months. I mean, she got all of that. And then for me, I knew eventually after I got done playing, I also wanted to stay in the business somehow and in the business. And so it was a natural fit for me, because that's what I wanted to do after I got done playing, and was able to do some things. As soon as I retired, was able to go to Fox and work on a show called Best Damn Sports Show for a number of years.
Yeah, and I remember that. Yeah, it was good.
But I will say that the reality show, that was all her. That wasn't something that.
So
that I was,
did you not want to do the reality show?
I was not really I'm not on board. I put it that way. I was not 100% on board.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of those episodes to see if you were see what your attitude was and your confidence was in some of those episodes.
Yeah, early on, I did phone a couple of them in, but I'm telling you, it was as time went on, it was really good, because what it did was it gave, and she knew this all along when she was pitching it and making sure that we did this, is that it gave us a platform to speak on a lot of other things. And we had a lot of control over the content. We had a lot of control over, you know, what was happening. As you know, our son, RJ, our oldest, is diagnosed with autism. So right. He really joined in that fight and really jumped in with both feet. So it gave us an opportunity to kind of explain to the world what autism really was, and just allow the world to see him and try to normalize it, because it became, you know, one of the things we saw firsthand, that people were like, oh, let's stay away from that kid, or that, we don't know what this is, and why is he acting this way? So we, and through the reality show, were able to educate, you know, a lot of people about autism and kids with special needs, and bring some normalcy to it. And it really, I think it really helped not only us, but it helped, I think, a number of families when they watched the show, because we really tried to focus a lot on RJ and his journey. At 3 years old, my son was diagnosed, RJ was diagnosed with autism. And at that point, I didn't know much about autism either. And I was like, what is it? And you know, kids early on, younger or whatever, when uneducated about it, would joke around. Oh, it's he's retarded. He's retarded. He's with this.
Right.
Come to find out, I mean, that's kind of a derogatory term for a lot of things, especially kids with autism.
Right.
And autism is really just it is a neurological disorder, and all it is the kids' brains function differently, right?
Right.
And they don't see things the way, say, we see things. Doesn't make them doesn't make them bad, just makes them different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to educate myself on what it is. And so for me, and being an athlete, the journey was hard, or we almost got divorced because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was one of those things where you have to jump in, and we tell families all the time when we talk to people that have just gotten a diagnosis that early diagnosis, first of all, is the key. And then you got to jump in with both feet with treatment and therapies and speech therapies and occupational therapies. And you got to work with these kids as much as possible, because it is a growth process. And I didn't understand that. I did the old school because my dad was a coach too. So I'm going to coach it out of him. Or that's what I thought.
Yep. Let's tough it out. Yep. Let's tough it out.
Tough it out, love. Come on, say this, say it.
Yep.
Say it, and it just absolutely did not work. So, I mean, and so we got that diagnosis, and when we got it, it was the worst day in the world, because the therapist told us as she evaluated him, and mind you, he's 3 years old, and she's like, okay, he has what you call autism, which means his brain functions differently. He mentions he has limited social skills. He may develop something that's pretty brilliant, but the chances of that are really slim. You have to work with him 40 hours a week in therapy. And I'm just going to tell you, he's never going to go to a mainstream school. He's never really going to have any friends. Probably will never drive, never go to college. Probably, will never have relationships beyond his own immediate family. Never, working, that's probably not an option for him. And he's 3 years old. I'm sitting there listening. I'm balling up my fist, and I'm mad, and I'm like ready to jump across the table. I said, how are you going to tell a parent of a 3-year-old that he's never going to do all these things?
Right.
I'm looking at my life like, how many people told me I was never going to do this? You never going to play quarterback. You never going to make it to the NFL. You never going to do this. And I'm like, I'm a living proof of you can overcome anything.
Right.
And so don't tell me that. That's when I went into that coaching mode. I'm going to do it myself.
Yes, sir.
Hollywood, other route. I'm going to educate myself. And so we came to friction, man, where I was doing everything wrong. And she was like, you got to be on board with this, because when he leaves me and goes and hangs out with you setting him back. And you can't do that. And so it was like, either you get on board or, you're going to have to get out. He was choosing him over me. And I had to, had that come to Jesus moment. Like, what do I got to do? And at that time I was depressed because, it's the firstborn son. He has my name. His name is Rodney. And I want him to, had all these thoughts that I wanted to do with him. And he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And I'm going to take him in the locker room, because I was still playing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take him in the locker room. I'm going to enjoy and all those things. And I did. I took him in the locker room when he was young, and he couldn't handle it because the noise was so loud and it was sensory things. And he would curl up in my locker and wouldn't engage with anybody. And it was so frustrating. But I was like, you got to understand. You got to read on what can bring him out of this situation. So I did that, and we overcame that, and I started to educate myself, and I started to see the world through his eyes as opposed to through my eyes and what he was going through.
Wow. You all missed that. If you missed that day when Rodney and I, that was November 12th, 2021. If you can go back and watch that on my YouTube page or YouTube channel, the Fryar Place. You can go back and watch that. It was November 12th, 2021. If you missed that day, that day was awesome. That's why I put that on today, because I know Rodney. I pretty much stayed in contact with him, met his wife, or know his wife. I don't know her like I know him, but man, didn't know all of that was going on. And when he shared that with us back then, it's just awesome. People, for whatever reason, believe that those who are in, whether it's Hollywood or high profile areas in their lives, or carry, they're in the limelight. People think that everything's okay with their lives because they have money. No, money can buy you a lot of things, but money can't buy. Look, money can buy you a king size bed, but money can't buy you a good night's sleep. Yeah, money can buy you sex, but money can't buy you love. Ain't that what the song says? It can't buy you love. Money can't buy you love. There's a lot of things that money can buy. Yeah, money can buy you a gym membership, but money can't buy you health and strength. So just because folk have money and they live in a big house and they drive a nice car and you see them on TV, they deal with issues just like we do. They deal with stuff just like we do. And that was an absolute fire. That's what this is about. That's what the Fryar Place is about. Conversations that are fire. I don't want to just do athletes. I don't want to just have athletes on here. I want real, everyday, ordinary folk who have testimonies, who tell their stories about the challenges of life and how they've been able to overcome, how they've been able to be victorious and come out on the other side of that challenge to encourage you, our listeners, in whatever it is you have to face on a daily basis. And when you're finished, listen, we're all in one of three places, and I don't mean to sneak a preach, but we're all in one of three places in our lives. We're either in a storm, just came out of a storm, or as they say down south, fitting to go into a storm. That's the way it is. And we're going to have storms in our lives. Richard said, I was there. I saw it. Yes, you did. Vanetta, thank you. It was a good segment. Yes, it was, Rashida. Brother Davis, good to see you too. Thanks for joining us. You're on the Facebook page, Brother Davis. That's the way we say it down south. Brother Davis. I got some Southern in me. Brother Davis, you're on the Facebook page. You're on my Facebook page. So what I would like for you to do, and I'm purposely airing this on my Facebook page right now, so people will go over to my YouTube channel, go to YouTube, search the Fryar Place. I had Lucy Spencer do it. She did it already. She left the Facebook page, went over to YouTube, subscribed to the Fryar Place, and watching it at the Fryar Place on YouTube. It's a better picture. It's in 4K on YouTube. So I'll look better. You get to see the pimple on my nose because it's a 4K. Brother King, what's happening? Good to see you. Hope all is well with you, man. I pray all is well with you. We had Brother King. He was one of our guests a couple of months ago and talking about his son, August, who has a rare challenge in his life, rare challenge. And we're still praying for him. Reverend Davis, what is going on? He said, what's up, Q? Rue Q? They don't know nothing about that. How you doing, bro? Yes, listen, you're watching on my Facebook page right now as well. Please, I'm doing that on purpose. I'm restreaming. I'm actually live on my YouTube channel, The Fryar Place, and live on my Facebook page at the same time. It is my aim. It is my goal to get those who are watching on Facebook to go over to YouTube, search The Fryar Place, and subscribe. All right. We're not finished yet. I had a lot of great athletes on this past year. We're celebrating a year today. Okay, you're heading over right now. See there? That's what I'm talking about. Heading over right now. I bet you all of your congregation is obedient just like that too. Just like you. Your whole congregation. When you ask them to do something, bang, they do it. Yes, sir. So we're celebrating a year. As of July 2nd, we're celebrating a year. I have a few clips. I just showed Rodney Pete. I've had a lot of great guests on, but I've just kind of picked out a few. The second one that I want to show is I had my therapist. Well, he was my therapist, Tim Massaquoi. He was on with another therapist that I actually trained with, Tanya Tinsley. They're both local. I've had Tanya on individually, and I've had Tim on individually. Then I brought them both together because they both are awesome. African-American therapists. A lot of us fall prey to the stigma when it comes to African American people in going and sitting and talking out your issues or dealing with psychological and emotional challenges that we may have. A lot of us walk around with that stigma like something's wrong with you if you have to do that. Well, a lot of us need to do that. And we should do that. We need to sit down and talk things out with someone who can help guide us and lead us in the right direction, and help us to gain understanding in the emotions and the thoughts that we have going and running through our minds. Yeah, running through our minds and showing itself, making itself manifest in our lives. So I wanted to show that today because we're talking about relationships. They're talking about relationships. I asked them a question. So let's watch Tanya Tinsley and Tim Massaquoi as they just spew back in response to my question. In relationships, now the Bible says that we're supposed to love our neighbors. That's how we're supposed to deal with one another. We're supposed to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. That's the directive, because love covers the law. You know, we don't go by the 10 commandments anymore, but if we will love one another the way Christ loved us, then that covers everything in the law. If I love you, then I won't covet your stuff. If I love you, then I won't kill you. If I love you, then I won't steal your stuff. Love covers it all. So if people don't love themselves the way they should love themselves, then how can I love somebody else? I hear people talking all the time about their relationships and how the relationships are not good, not sweet, not positive. They're jacked up, distorted. But I also hear those same people talking about themselves in ways that are negative. They don't like the way they look. They don't like the way how much weight they have. They don't like the way this is on them. They don't like this about themselves. If I'm not loving myself right and relating to myself right, then how can all my relationships be positive and be productive and be the way the Lord wants them to be or form them to be? Tell us about the importance of self-love, Tanya.
Absolutely. And I'm going to pick up where you left off, because when we talk about the Lord wants us to love ourselves, we also have to really understand where that brokenness came from. So if we go into the beginning, in terms of what happened with Adam and Eve, and that broken relationship with self and that broken relationship with others, and that broken relationship with self caused shame, it caused guilt, started questioning. And so we have to deal with that brokenness within ourselves to also deal with the brokenness in relationships. And so it really, and I want to reiterate something that Tim said. We all have emotions, and it's okay to own your emotions. And oftentimes in a relation breakup, something's going on at the job, somebody's in a crisis, the first thing is to personalize it and start criticizing self and downing self and doubting self. And instead of doing that, it's important to love yourself. And so saying affirmations, saying positive things, reframing what you're thinking in your mind about yourself, and not allowing those external situations to control how you feel about yourself internally. And so where you have control over is not what's happening externally, but you have control over how you think to yourself.
Right.
One of the books that I like is The Carpenter by John Gordon. And one of the things he says in there, and this is about reframing those statements, we have to talk to ourselves more than we listen to ourselves. Because when we listen to ourselves, we hear all the doubt. We hear all the criticism. We hear all the negative. But if we talk to ourselves and speak positive. And I would challenge people, try that for 30 to 40 days. Form a new habit. Because when you form a new habit, it becomes habitual. So does it take work? Absolutely. When we're trying to restore relationship with ourselves, it does take work.
Wow. And there's power, the power of life and death in our tongues. Speak those things that are not, as though they already are. So stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself. Who do we hear talk more than anybody else? We hear ourselves talk more than anybody else. So talk to you. Oh my gosh, maybe that's what I've been doing. You know what? I go around the house. It's amazing you said that, because I catch myself going around the house talking out loud to myself. I don't do it when my wife is around, but I catch myself. No, seriously, I catch myself talking scenarios out loud, talking about situations. Some of the situations, Tim, that you and I have talked about that's going on in my life, I find myself talking out loud to myself, hashing it out, going through it, rationalizing it, and making sense of it. And it just happens. It just happens. So yeah, talk to yourself and stop listening to yourself. Boy, that's a sermon right there. I gotta take a note of that. I'm gonna preach that, Tanya. That's a sneaker preach right there. That's a sneaker preach. It is. It is. Tim, you want to add something to self-love? You have to see yourself right and treat yourself right. I mean, the Bible says, treat your neighbor as you treat yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And for the most part, we have self-preservation. We love ourselves. We groom ourselves. We take care of ourselves. We do for ourselves. We're concerned about our own protection and our own care. And that's how we're supposed to have that same degree of care and protection and preservation for our neighbor. But if I'm trashing myself, I'm downing myself, if I don't feel good about myself, then how can my relationships be positive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Dr. Tinsley, yeah.
She rough, ain't she, Doc? She rough, boy. She rough, boy.
One thing I will add to it, and there's not much needed to be added to it, but the one thing I will add to it is, while talking to yourself more than you listen to yourself, also understanding the energy of the company that you keep, right? So
nice.
when I talk about that, I'm talking about relationships in my life, right? What are people saying to me? And I'll give this quick example. I look at this thing of like, we're football player, right?
Mm-hmm.
NFL, you're a franchise, right? So if my championship, if my ultimate goal is the best quality of life and a healthy quality of life, who in my life is helping me get to that championship?
Nice.
Are people sabotaging internally? And not to like talk about the headlines now with internal sabotaging of a goal to win, but are people in my life helping me win that championship? Are people in my life supporting me, cheering me on, helping me figure out how to get through situations? Or are those people honestly trying to deter me, trying to stomp me down when they talk to me? What are they saying? Right? So that's a part of it too, because ears are for listening. So what am I listening to?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things am I depositing in myself that confirms and agrees with these positive things I'm saying about myself? So if I start saying positive things, if I start talking positive things like, yo, Tim, you did that, man.
Right.
You did that.
Yeah.
And then my wife is like, you ain't do nothing. You ain't not. I'm like, whoa, nah, that don't match. Right?
Right.
You're not on my team to help me win the championship. My wife doesn't do that. She's my biggest cheerleader. But I'm saying like the information we're receiving as well has an impact. So what are we listening to? Are we listening to words of affirmation? Are we listening to inspirational speeches? Are we reading inspirational things? Are we listening to death, despair, and deprecation? Right? What are we taking in? Because that's a part of it too. Where we can redirect our energy, where that internal conversation as far as like positivity aligns with the external noise, then we doing something. Because then there's agreement, there's alignment, right?
Right.
So there's alignment with, what I'm hearing. It's positive, it's encouraging. Not saying you're the greatest since everything, since sliced bread, but like, listen, it's okay where you're at because you're ambitious. You got this. You can do this.
Right.
You're going to be successful. You're
Nice.
going to reach that next level. I need people in my life telling me that. I have that. Thankfully, blessed, praise God, I have that. I have people who support me when I'm doubting myself. Like, you don't doubt yourself. Look what you did. They'll bring evidence into it. Look what you've accomplished.
Right. That's good. That's good.
Do it again. Work hard, do it again.
That's
okay.
Good. Yeah.
So that part of it too is just around making sure you have people in your life who really encourage you and support you, and you do the same for them. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. But just surrounding yourself with the type of energy will also allow that conversation.
Boy, I've had some great guests. y'all been sleeping on the Fryar Place. You have been. If you missed that episode was February 11th, 2022. That was February of this year with Tanya Tinsley and Tim Masquad. Listen, you have to take care of yourself. If you're not taking care of yourself, then you're not going to be able to have or be in healthy relationships. And understand this, self-care is not selfish. Because you're taking care of yourself, that doesn't mean you're selfish. You have to stay out of toxic relationships that are not good for you. Some of us will stay connected to people because, I've done this before where I've stayed connected to people in certain realms because I don't like hurting people's feelings. Well, you know what? I've gotten over that. I'm almost 60 years old now. And if my decision about me happens to upset somebody else because I'm trying to take care of me, then you know what? They've got the problem, not me. I don't have a problem. If you get mad at me because I talked to my church about this past week, if you get mad at me because I choose peace over drama and distance over disrespect, that's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm taking care of me so I can take care of who and what I need to take care of. So watch those toxic relationships, y'all, and make sure you're doing the things that you need to do for you so you can be an asset for others. If you're not healthy, if you're not happy, if you're not strong, if you're not if you don't have your vim, vigor, and vitality, what good are you going to be for anybody else? It starts with you. Take care of yourself. Florence, I see you. She's doing what we do at the church. I got 3 amens on that. I was not trying to sneak a preach, but thank you very much. Dave, thank you. Yes, I saw you put earlier that you remember that episode. Yeah, you've been faithful, Dave, over the year. Thank you so much. Richard, yep. Tanya and Tim, that's my all-star team. Yeah, that's my all-star team. Keep them in my back pocket. Anytime I need them, I pull them out. Yeah, this show, Vanetta says, this show has been a blessing to me. It fills my bucket and edifies my spirit. Wow. I look forward to watching and trying my best not to miss it. Thank you. I laugh hard. Lots of great reflection. Yeah, we do laugh. We do have a good time on this show because I can be a clown. But in all seriousness, it's about the testimonies. It's about the testimonies of those. And you'll notice when I do have professional athletes. We've had Randall Cunningham. I did a series on black quarterbacks in the NFL. Randall Cunningham was on, and Doug Williams was on, and Rodney Peete was on. And we didn't necessarily talk. I mean, we talked a little bit. It would be foolish not to talk a little bit about their career, but we got into the challenges of life, some of the issues that they've had to deal with, like we all do. And that's what the Fryar Place is all about. Richard says it's not only about staying connected, it's also about the disconnect. You're right. That's right. Some folk we need to disconnect from. And I learned that over time. I would stay connected to people because I didn't want to hurt their feelings, but I'm over that. I've gotten over that. And I don't disconnect to hurt anybody. I disconnect because I need to be disconnected. Yeah. And sometimes in order for you to go to the next level, some stuff got to drop off. Anytime the space shuttle goes to the next, y'all, when they used to send the space shuttle up, anytime the space shuttle goes to the next dimension, the next in atmosphere, anytime it goes higher, something drops off. Yeah. Next time it goes to the next atmosphere, it drops off. Goes to the next drops off. Something's got to drop off anytime we're going to the next level. So, there are some things that we have to let go of. Listen, I've got one more clip and we'll be done for the day. And as we celebrate this year, there was a young man by the name of Kier Jr. Spates. You may know him as Junior on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Yeah, I don't know if you remember the show that he did. That was a while ago. It was last year. I think it was November of last year. He was on with us, and he got serious. It got serious. We were talking about his career a little bit. You know, he's a comedian. He's with Steve Harvey now on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, which is one of the largest radio syndicated shows in the world. You know, Steve Harvey, everybody knows who Steve Harvey is. He's just as famous as some of these sports heroes. So Junior, Kier Junior Spates, works with Steve Harvey on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and he had some stuff to share with us, y'all. He began to share some real moving moments. He was diagnosed with sickle cell when he was 7 years old, and he's had a struggle most of his life. So watch this as we kick back on this last, I'll call it a reclip, and revisit our show with Kier Junior Spates.
Call me and say, hey, this is Per Steve Harvey. He said, he's getting older. They want a younger voice on the show. And man, he said, go get the guy out of Houston. I like him. I like what he stands for. I like that. Had no idea that was going to change my entire life.
Wow.
But see, let's get back to the point, the basics, Irving. If I didn't listen to the voice,
mm-hmm.
I'm glad you brought that up on this show today because it's important.
Right.
Because that moment in my life, clear as a whistle, God spoke in his left ear, that's what you're going to be doing. And I looked over my shoulder, nobody was there. Watching Martin Lawrence on Def Comedy Jam at 14.
Wow.
Had no idea that if I would have ignored that, and if I would have just accepted what everybody would have told me, I'd have missed everything.
Mm-hmm. Follow your dream. Follow your dream. You got to follow your dream.
I started that dream at 19. Early.
Yeah.
Ain't but 10 of them been good.
Mm.
See, that's the part people miss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the journey, you want everything to be smooth. You want everything to be good. You want things to be this way. You want things to be that way. You want this relationship to work. This. I walked away from some wonderful women that I hurt. I understand that. That was all part of the journey because I had to learn. I sacrificed everything. Birthdays, my friends having kids, not being there for this person, that person, trying to make one dream. Ain't but 10 of them been good, man. Out of 21 years, ain't but 10 good. Now, if you want to sit here and you're going to look at me and you're going to tell me that it ain't worth it. I swear to God, these last 10 been worth the first 10. I'm not going to even sit and lie to you. But that's what happens when you listen to the voice, when you understand your purpose, and when you learn it and growing, and you making mistakes. And when God could have said,
take your time. Take your time. Real talk. It's real talk.
I'm trying to tell people, man. See, I got this disease, man. It speeds up my thinking. I'm really a 78-year-old man talking to you because I don't know how much longer I got. What I'm trying to say is that in the process, and please understand this, in the process, you're not going to have very many good days in the beginning. But the reason why the days in the beginning aren't the best days, because as you start appreciating what you're going through, then God starts unwinding and giving you the things that you need to keep going. But you have to understand that you're not going to be successful in the beginning. So when the success comes, you know how to treat it. See, I ain't sitting up here on Friday because I'm talking to Irving Fryar. I'm talking to somebody who's watching this, who may be going through it, who may not really understand where you at in the process. I know you hear me Monday through Friday cracking jokes on that, but see, once you pull all that away, I still have to exist as a human being. And if my mission is to help you, see, comedy is what God made me for, but this is really what I do. See, I really come in here to really change your thought process about life because you've been beat up. But let me tell you about a person like me. I've had so many disappointments. I've been in the hospital over 100 times. I've almost died at 8. I'm still here. I'm trying to tell you, it's possible for you. It really is possible for you. You can sit over here and sit up in Irving's place and act like your life is going great and all that. No, you ain't happy because you're not actually on your purpose. And then the other problem is you ain't never asked God, what am I here for? Let's just be honest. Have you really asked God, What am I here for? Because if you ask him, just like I asked him, but at 14, he told me. I didn't care what nobody said. I've been ridiculed, been talked about. I've been dismissed. I'm not good enough. People I really put faith in turn their back on me. So you're going to sit up here and you can't, it's not a lot you can tell me because I've been through a lot. I'm only 43 years old. And by the way, they told me I was going to die at 11. I must know something. And that's the thing I want people to grab. Is that don't worry about what everybody else is saying about you. Have you asked the Creator, what am I here for? I want to make an impact, God, that's so deep that when I leave here, they still got to bring my name up.
He's a comedian. Sound like he's a preacher. Wow. Just wow. Anthony, thanks for jumping in with us. Anthony said, wow, that'll preach right there. Listen to the voice, God's voice. Yes. Thanks for joining us, Anthony. And Richard said the Holy Spirit is powerful. Yes, he is. If you hear him, the voice, you better listen. Understand this too, because we've heard our therapists today talk about talking to ourselves rather than listening to ourselves. That's important. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So when we speak, we have to speak the truth. We have to speak the same thing that God speaks, the same thing that God says, and not necessarily listen to what is going on in our heads. Understand this when we talk about hearing God's voice, and I'm not saying this to preach to anybody. Yeah, David said, listen to the voice. Listen to the voice. He said, talk to the Creator. Good God Almighty. God, when God speaks, hear me now. Hey, Auntie Florence, all the way out in the state of Washington. And Auntie Florence, you are on Facebook, as I've shared with many. Carl Jenkins, listen, I need you all to get off my Facebook page. But I put this on Facebook on purpose because I know I would catch some of you who are subscribed to my Facebook page or who have logged in or who are my friends, Facebook page friends, or whatever. You watch me on Facebook. Anyway, my purpose for doing that, because I'm streaming live right now on YouTube at the Fryar Place, is to get you to go from my Facebook page over to YouTube to the Fryar Place. So you can wait until this is done. That's fine. But at some point when you finish watching, please leave the Facebook page and go over to YouTube, search the Fryar Place, and subscribe to the Fryar Place. Make sure you share this. Make sure you like this. Share it and like it. But back to the voice. When God speaks, hear me now. When God speaks, God doesn't speak to your mind. Uh-oh. What's the preacher getting ready to say? God doesn't speak to your mind. When God speaks to you, he speaks to your spirit. Yes, he does. And then your spirit speaks to your mind. Does that make sense? Yes, it does make sense because God is spirit. And he doesn't, what the flesh can't complete, what the spirit begins. The Bible says that. So God speaks to your spirit. That's when God speaks. That's how you know it's God, because it sits well with your spirit. And then your spirit tells your mind how to think. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Christ Jesus is the Word. The Word made flesh. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Come on, preacher. Y'all, God speaks to your spirit. You got to listen to your spirit, because your spirit's going to tell your mind what to do, so your mind can activate and make things possible in your life in terms of accomplishing, moving in the direction, doing the things that God would have you do. Yep. That's it. Well, I knew that would take all the time, y'all, those 3 clips. That's why I was going to put 3 or 4 more up, but I said, you know what? It would just drag along and everybody would get tired of it. I'm trying to do the best I can, Vanetta. I just need people to understand that God doesn't speak to our flesh. When God speaks, he's spirit. He speaks to his spirit that he's placed inside of us. That's why God has set this thing up so much so that we can't fail if we just operate the way and yield to his will in our lives and operate the way he had designed for this thing to operate. Yeah. Have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about your troubles. Yes, he will. He'll hear your faintest cry. He'll answer by and by. Yeah, hear the prayer was turning, know the fire is burning. Just a little talk with Jesus will make everything all right. I finished it for you, Brother Royster. Looks like you're a preacher. Is it Pastor Royster? God bless you. Thanks for being with us today. Listen, here's what I want to do in celebration, okay? In celebration for this year anniversary. And I know who's watching right now. So I want all of you, because I want to send you something. I want you to go over to, here, we're going to do it right here like this. Go over to Press and Sow. Oh, that's supposed to come up. It didn't come up. Let me go get this. Let me unlock this. Now it should come up. Press and Sow, PRSSNSOW.com//TFP. That's the Fryar Place. You log into there and you'll see hats, t-shirts, all right, from the Fryar Place. Fryar Place hats, t-shirts. We have a t-shirt on there that says pause, pray, pursue. We have a t-shirt that says content. Was it? Yeah, content reveals intent. Go to the Fryar Place at Press and Sow and pick out a t-shirt. Those of you who are watching right now. All right, I know who's been watching. Then here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to your email and go and email the Fryar Place, thefryarplace@gmail.com, thefryarplace@gmail.com. Tell me why you watch the Fryar Place, and then tell me which t-shirt you want. And I'll make sure you get it in celebration for today's anniversary and for you being with us today. There's 15 of you watching right now. So prayerfully, I'll get 15 emails and we'll send out 15 shirts. But go to pressandsow.com/TFP. Check out the t-shirts. Pick which one you want. Then go to your computer and email me at thefryarplace@gmail.com. Thefryarplace@gmail.com. Tell me why you watch the Fryar Place, and then tell me which t-shirt you want, and I'll make sure you get it. That's in celebration of our year anniversary. That's it for the day, y'all. Listen, I appreciate you watching. My job was easy today. There was no live interview, but it feels good to go back into, if you want to say, reminisce on some of the guests that we've had here at the Fryar Place, and just to know that I'm doing something. It feels something that I know is good, and that feels good. I love doing this, and I thank you for your support. Hats off to all of you who consistently have been with me here at the Fryar Place for this past year. You know, people like Richard, and obviously my mama, my sister Hope, and Sister Sally. I haven't seen Sister Sally. My Auntie Florence. Y'all have been very, very consistent all the time. Vanetta, you've been real consistent. David Hunt, thank you so much. You've been here too. R. Charles Davis, what's going on? Here I am, and subscribe. He said, we got to get together. Let's connect. I like what you got going on. All right. Rashawn, yes. All right. Just DM me. All right. Or email me here at the Fryar Place. Email me here at the Fryar Place, thefryarplace@gmail.com. You can email me and we'll connect. All right. Vanetta, Rashida, Brother Davis, God bless you all. Brian King, pray all is well. Alfred Parchment, God bless you too. Thank you for joining us. You've been with us for a while as well. Marcus, yeah. Lucy, thank you. Robin Clark Brewer, thank you for the anniversary cheer, or the anniversary, what is it? Anniversary shout out. That's what we'll call it that. Keith, I don't know if you're still watching, but God bless you, bro. Thank you. Shout out to you. Daryl McMillan, shout out to you too, bro. Peter, God bless you. Shout out to you. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. Darlene, thank you for the anniversary wishes. God bless all of you. Patrice, I don't know if you're still watching. You probably left and went to YouTube. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for the shout out. Anniversary shout out. Kelsey, thank you for the anniversary shout out. Alfred, I said you. Rashida, I said Dale, thank you for the anniversary shout out. Y'all, I'm out. We'll be back next week. same time, same place, same purpose here at the Fryar Place to have a conversation that's fire. Please don't forget to go. Let me get this off of here. To Press and Sew. Check out your t-shirt. Those of you who are watching this episode, check out your t-shirt, the one you want. Check it out. Pick it out. Then go to your email, your computers. Email me at thefryarplace@gmail.com. Tell me why you watched The Fryar Place, and then tell me which t-shirt you want. All right? We're going to see y'all next week. Love y'all. God bless you. Hang in there. Stay safe. Love one another. Please take care of yourselves. COVID is still out there, y'all. COVID ain't messing around. It's not. COVID is still doing its thing. So y'all be careful. Love yourself. Self-love is not selfish. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. Peace.